So, what is the Course's stance on politics? In a nutshell, A Course in Miracles has only one stance on anything: God is. And then we cease to speak. That's pure non duality, and this is what ACIM is about. If what it says is true, and from my vantage point I can only go by what the Course says, then I interpret it as saying that God extended himself as love and created his one Son, the Christ, which is what we all are, not as individuals, but as the one mind we share with God, as God, in God, even though it appears we are in a fractured state, hence seeing ourselves as individuals separated from one another. The fact that we believe there's a we, or an I, or others, basically anything that involves a plural or an other, including a me, is the error, and it's the only one that need be undone. We do this through practicing true forgiveness, which is the act of observing the mind's contents and exposing them to our inner teacher, whether it be Spirit, Holy Spirit, Jesus, teacher of truth, source, or whatever you wish to call it. That is our only job. So when it comes to politics, is there a way the Course can improve things? The answer is no. ACIM has nothing to do with improving the world or anything or anyone in it. So when a heated topic such as politics comes up, you may hear popular Course personalities talk about love over hate, which political side isn't being kind, or whether their policies are or aren't helpful. It's an easy trap to get caught up in because of the heated emotions that come from this particular subject matter. But following the Course doesn't mean inviting the Holy Spirit into politics or even taking advice from it. The Holy Spirit is interested in only one thing: looking at the error with us, not instead of us, not for us, only with us, because we need to see the mind's contents with our teacher without judging it. That's what true forgiveness is. If you think about it, politics is at least one of the ultimate divide and conquer strategies in history. It goes back a long way, and no matter who has taken office or what they stood for or what side they were on, here we seem to be, still divided, still at war with one another, and still very, very upset. Politics divides people. It pits them against one another, where one side defends its need to be right about the way they see the world, while those who don't agree are wrong. Only the ego sees the need to fix things. In fact, only the ego identifies problems because only the ego made problems. That's its job, and we gave it this job. And by believing in and participating in politics, we defend its job and keep it going. There is only one problem and only one solution. We believe the dream of separation from God is real. The decision-making mind chose the ego, and every problem that appears to occur is a symbol in form of that one problem, that one decision. The world is nothing but a cover-up for the belief in sin, guilt, and fear in the mind. The politicians act out our secret wish to be a separated self. It's a smokescreen, and as I heard someone phrase it a while back, it's a 360-degree total immersion movie. So if you'd like to hear more about why we made the world, I'll leave a link to a video called The Two Dreams in the description box below. So looking for solutions, even in practical ways, isn't the solution that will wake you, me, or anyone else up from the dream. It makes the problems real and supplies an ongoing seek and do not find environment that keeps you running in different directions, always bypassing the fact that you're reacting to one of the many projections from a mind that believes in sin, guilt, and fear. It isn't bad or wrong to find solutions to our everyday issues. They can be helpful, and it isn't useful to endure needless suffering just to give yourself something to forgive. No one is wrong for taking medications or wanting to see fairness in the world. If someone around us needs our help and we're in a position to offer it, by all means, that may be the kindest thing to do. Practical solutions aren't bad, but they won't get you home. Only true forgiveness will. And if you study and practice A Course in Miracles, especially if you've stuck with it for any length of time, then chances are you just want to wake up from this insane nightmare and experience the peace of God as your natural state of being. So when it comes to politics and ACIM, there is only one way to go about it, and it goes something like this. Spirit, it appears I am using this situation with politics to keep my belief in separation real and to hide from you. I feel justified in my right to be right and my right to be offended, unfairly treated, victimized, etc., while making this politician guilty for my upset. I'm willing to share every thought of hate, anger, fear, judgment, preference, relief, and defense that appears in my small mind with you in exchange for the miracle. I am willing to see this as it truly is, rather than the way I have set it up. Now, you don't have to use those words or any words at all. They're just meant to convey the idea behind practicing true forgiveness. It's in the looking without judging that these triggers eventually get released. If you follow this one practice over and over again, with every single thing that ranges from mild irritation to outright rage, or even pleasure, then you're doing the course. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with wholly empty hands unto your God. If you hate a politician or their policies, or even if you approve of them, let the feelings, beliefs, emotions, opinions, what have you, come up for forgiveness. If you're triggered by anything involving politics in any way, let it come up for forgiveness. And if you fought with someone over politics and feel guilty or even justified for doing so, practice true forgiveness on that too. They're all just symbols in a dream. It's the willingness to look at them in non-judgment, which is the way Spirit sees, that will empty your mind of its erroneous contents, leaving nothing else but the peace, joy, and truth of the self. The happy dream isn't about symbols looking the way the small mind thinks they ought to look. It's about the happiness of God extending through you into everything and everyone you see. There is no happiness if you need things to change, but you'll likely experience an unconscious undercurrent of angst even if things do seem to go your way, because that will still be in contrast to what you didn't want, which is still seeing through the ego's eyes, believing in separation and the need for things to be different. And then you'll be dependent on those things staying favorable to you, because if they don't, you'll suffer again. That, my friends, is not happiness. If it can be temporary or out of your control, it has nothing whatsoever to do with the bliss of genuine inner peace. I don't say any of this lightly. I've seen my own I know mind at work, and even when I've been supposedly proven right, it is still very painful. The same can be said when I've seemingly gotten my way. There's nothing happy about needing things to change or benefiting from someone else's loss. It's stressful, painful, and it involves the need to control, and it encompasses conflict, condemnation, and grievances. It absolutely sucks, and I don't know about you, but personally, I've had enough of my own insanity, so I share my thoughts about this course with you. The only thing that has worked for me is practicing true forgiveness. Only the I don't know mind is open to experiencing true happiness that has no opposite, and it depends on nothing and no one but God and has no end date. It is eternal. There is only happiness when you see there are no separate things, period. That's an experience that cannot be described. I haven't had that yet either, but I know I never will while defending my own preferences in the dream. I can be aware that I believe there's a me who has preferences, but I'm not willing to hide them from my awareness. My only job is to hand them over for correction. I do this by looking at the insanity of the ego without judgment. That's what politics and everything else in the world are for. And if you're concerned about what kind of world you're leaving to your loved ones, just know there is no greater gift you can give to anyone than a healed mind. Maybe some policy regarding the borders will change. Perhaps altering finances, healthcare, or world relations will bring a temporary sense of abundance and well-being. But there will still be accidents, natural catastrophes, predatory animals, poisonous plants, incurable illnesses, slow drivers, reality TV, and the mind-boggling dumbass decisions of our fellow humans that will trigger us. I've made my own dumbass decisions, so I'm not exactly above anyone else here. There is no way to fix the world. There will always be something. So why not give it all up? Maybe stop relying on the symbols to give us the peace we already are, but block from our awareness by using politicians to cover this light. But you don't have to listen to anything I've said in this video either. I am not a guru, and of all of this, it's my own personal take. In closing, there is no way to improve the political arena using A Course in Miracles. Forgiveness is the only way, whether it's about politics or a gnat flying around in your cereal. Just forgive it. That is all anything is for.